on top. This slide appeared in the Royal Road 2-card Magic in 1948, written by Gino Gard and Fred Browie. And basically you reverse one card or more cards in the middle of the deck. It repeats the action of a double undercut, but with a very important variation. For example, you want to turn over this ace in the middle of the deck or to the bottom of the deck. First we'll do to the bottom of the deck. Take a break at that card, like this. Take half of the cards below the break. Instead of placing them on top, like the double undercut, you place them on top, but you reverse them face up, and keeping the break in the middle of the deck. Take all the cards below that break and flip them over, so now you can spread, showing apparently all the cards face up, but the top card now is face down in the bottom of the deck, okay? So basically it's simply you are toying with the deck, and apparently you simply reverse all the cards and showing them to the spectator, but really in that action you have reversed one card. Another variation is that you reverse the card in the middle of the deck. Very simple, of course. Do the same thing, half of the cards to the top, all the cards below the break, but instead of placing to the top, place them underneath. So now you snap your fingers, you have one card reversed in the middle of the deck. That could be the selection, and so on. This was first published in the book The Secrets of Brother Joe Hammond in 1989. And basically, first, as a force, is a variation of the cut deeper force. For example, you want to force the ace of clubs. Instead of doing this, which is the cut deeper force, Brother Joe Hammond came up with this handling. You start to spread cards, like this. The spectator touches one. It doesn't matter which one, or he may say stop, and you flip over all the cards and start to move with the thumb all the cards above the face down card, so you don't want to flash actually that card like this, and you spread the cards below the face up portion, and the spectator says stops or touches one card, and you flip over everything. That's it. He takes the first face down card, and of course, this is the force card. As a control, you do exactly the same thing. Stop and stop. At the stop like this, you take all the face-up cards in your right hand, show the first face down, which is the ace of clubs, and then you take more cards from the face down section, flip them over, and then with the cards a little bit towards you, you take all the face up cards, flip them over, and now the force card is on top. So it's a force and a control of the force card. Bill Simon created this move, and he wrote it in his book Effective Card Magic in 1952. He used a business card for the move, so usually the move is called a business card prophecy, but any card will do. Imagine that I want to force the two red kings. I ask a spectator to touch any card from the middle of the deck. You place the card protruding like this, and under the pretense of showing that card, basically the move is done. In fact, on each side, you ask a spectator to take a card on each side of the face-up card, and these are the two red kings. Of course, this is a beautiful, beautiful force of any two cards. Let's imagine we use again the two red kings, one on top and one on the bottom, okay? One on top and one on the bottom. All the cards are face down. You spread the cards like this and ask a spectator to touch a card, and you leave it protruding. I usually say, if I tell you the name of that card, would you be impressed? And usually they say yes. Oh, wonderful. And I said, though, is the 3 of diamonds. So it's a little gag. You get a small laugh, but it covers even better the move that you have to do. Anyway, it doesn't really matter which card he touches. You take all the cards above that protruding card with the right hand, turn them face up, grab that protruding card with the thumb against basically the king that was on top, show the card, turn the right hand face up, and place the cards in the left hand on top. Okay, so you say, we are not going to take this card because it's face up, let's take the 2 cards on each side of that, and you have forced the 2 required cards. It's very simple, very effective, and it's a subtlety that I always loved. Apparently, Brother Joe Hammond introduced this count and a strict frustration in 1969, but basically there is a rumor that Norman Houghton invented this count before Brother Joe Hammond, and he published it in his trick Colorblind in 1955, so probably we'll never know. Imagine you want to show 4 cards with blue backs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but really you have 3 cards with red backs, okay? It's very easy actually, it's a very easy thing. You place a different colored card on the bottom like this. This could be blank, could be a red or yellow or whatever you want to do. You can have a message and so on. And take the cards from above like this, and then flip the right hand palm up, and apparently you take that card that you've just shown, but there is the top card, of course, is red. And you do exactly the same, the second and the third and the fourth. For example, this can work if you want to show all red cards. You have 3 cards and one is black, or you want to show all 3 8 of hearts, and you do exactly the same thing with the card face down, okay? There is a nice variation if you have, for example, in certain circumstances you have 2 cards of different color, one on top and one on the bottom. This is a very nice variation. You take the top card like this, and then you show both backs of the cards. Peel these on top, which of course is red, and repeat the same thing. Doing this with 2 hands, it's very deceiving, and the illusion is perfect, and then you have these 3 cards. That is a red or whatever you want to do in the middle. The frustration count. There is a very nice count that shows 5 cards as 5. In other words, you have 5 cards here and you want to show 5 red cards. So you show 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But you have 2 blue in this case. Of course, it can work with the cards face up and so on. I named it Jeff Busby and Carl Fulves because I've seen both names giving credit to this count. And no matter who came up with this count, it's a very versatile count, very nice. I like it very much. I used it many times. So you have the 3 cards on top, same card, in this case red, and the other 2 cards that you want to conceal on the bottom, okay? And apparently you take the cards as usual, one by one, from hand to hand. But really, of course, you don't do that. You take the top card, keep always, like in all the other counts of this kind, the thumb on the edge of the cards. Remember that tip, it's very important. Take the top card. On taking the second, you leave the first card underneath between fingers, left fingers and the bottom card, and you take the second. Now you push these 3 cards with the left thumb like this, and on taking these 3 cards, you leave again this card underneath and take these 3 cards. And then you count regularly 4 and 5. Okay, incidentally, the order is the same, remains the same. So 1, leave this underneath, take the second one, leave this underneath when you push 3, take 3 and 4 and 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 cards. Here is the Ascanio spread. Ascanio was a very famous magician in Spain. Arturo de Ascanio y Navas was his real name. Was a lawyer, but a very famous cardician. His handling with cards was a beauty to watch. The original handling for the culebreo was the original name, that means zigzag or whirling or snake in Spanish, was different. In 1972, this count appeared in Palbera's review with this handling. You concealed, in this case, the middle card or cards. You can have 2 or 3 cards here. Let's say you want to show just the 4 aces. Grab the cards from above, from thumb and middle finger like this. Now take these cards like this and you just show the 4 cards, okay? It's not difficult at all. It's very beautiful to do and to watch, actually. Take the bottom card with your left forefinger, the second card from the bottom with your middle finger, and then the top card with the thumb, leaving the second and the third card together as one. Okay, this is the Ascanio. According to the use that you need to do with this double card, you can place it on top, you can place on the bottom, and so on. And I repeat, the original handling by Ascanio was in this way, this way, keeping the card lengthwise. But I have to admit that this is a little bit easier and basically a little bit more natural. This is the Ascanio spread. 10 sleight and subtleties. Of course, there are more to come, so keep an open eye for more DVDs on this, and hopefully they will be very useful to you. Ciao.